Good morning, world. Kendall Sullivan with Real Progressives. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. But my thoughts this morning are with those that didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with their families. My thoughts this morning are with those that are still battling for their lives. My thoughts this morning are with those that are just stuck within a system that was never designed for them. See, this is a subject that's very hard for me to talk about. It's hard for me to talk about the criminal justice system because I see firsthand how corrupt it is. I see how it has destroyed many lives. And then when I think about the many lives that have been destroyed by the death penalty of people who were murdered that was actually innocent because of prosecutors that just wanted to blossom their resume, it makes me sick. It's egregious. It's heinous. And it's something that we shouldn't that shouldn't happen in the United States of America. No political candidate, not especially from a major party. We have two major political parties where both of them support the death penalty. Hillary Rodham Clinton supported the death penalty. Donald Trump, I'm sure, supports the death penalty. It's not about should people deserve to die for heinous crimes. It's not about that. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Wabaska. I hope I didn't mess your name up. But it's not about those. What it is about is there are people within the system that we cannot trust with the death penalty that should be abolished. We have people in our criminal justice system that are doing decades in prison. We have people that are being executed for crimes they did not commit. We have people that are being murdered by the death penalty for crimes they did not commit. We have prosecutors that has sent innocent people to jail knowingly just to blossom their resume. They do not care. As I always state, Anthony Hinton from my home state did 3 decades on death row. 3 decades. Anthony Hinton just said, hey, just let me, just retest the evidence. The evidence will prove that I didn't do it. It will prove that I didn't do it. Not only did they refuse to let him retest his evidence, but they fought him for decades to make sure that he didn't retest the evidence. And guess what freed him 3 decades later? It was the same evidence that they would never let him retest. These people knew he was innocent because they would have let him retest it. If they thought that he was guilty, they would have said, fine, go ahead. The problem is we have people in our criminal justice system that have been forgotten about. We have people in our criminal justice system that people don't care about. We have the false notion that in the United States of America that everyone that is in prison is guilty. We have that false notion until it hits home. And then all of a sudden people wants to become awake and wants to become aware of the situation. And it shouldn't take your family lives being destroyed before you worry about someone else's family. It shouldn't take your rights being denied before you give a damn about someone else's rights. But because if you always fight for others' rights in the beginning, then the threat of your rights being jeopardized will be far less possibly be violated. On another scale, check this out. The Hillary Rodham Clinton supporters, and I'm deviating some, but the Hillary Rodham Clinton supporters, when we complained about the superdelegate law, what did they tell us? They said, you know what? When did you start talking about this? This is their response. When did you start having a problem with this? And it's been that way. So rules are rules. Fair enough. So now Hillary Rodham Clinton wins the popular vote and lose electoral college, and now they want to complain about that. So my response to them is, when did you start having a problem with it, and why are you complaining about it now? So rules are rules. My point of bringing that up is when you ignore injustice anywhere, it can come back home to roost. Injustice anywhere, as MLK said, is an injustice everywhere. We can't just stand idly by and watch prosecutors get away with sending innocent people to jail, because the system is designed to reward them for sending people to prison. Think about that. If the system is designed to reward them for sending people to prison, and they get incentives for sending people to prison, they get jobs for sending people to prison, they get promotions for sending people to prison, then they're going to just send people to prison, whether they're guilty or not. That's a problem. That's a problem. It's like the one thing that we decided that to pay absolutely no attention to was the criminal justice system. We abolished Jim Crow. We abolished slavery. We abolished segregation. But when it comes to our criminal justice system, oh, it's still racist. There are more blacks and Mexicans and minorities in jail than anyone else in the nation. That is a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact. And the notion of what they did to Troy Davis, that's when I was really became awake with the death penalty. When I really seen the injustice that was going on. When Troy Davis, when there was so many petitions filed, not to release Troy Davis, but so many petitions filed to listen, review his case. There's been many witnesses on the witness that previously testified against him that said he was guilty are now recanting their testimony. So we need to at least see what's going on with this case. Nope. Nope. That ain't what they want to do. They murdered him. They murdered him. So what did Troy Davis do before they murdered him? He told the family, he urged the family to continuously look for who killed your family member because it wasn't me. God bless you. And he told the people that was about to take his life, and to those that are about to take my life, he said to them, to those that are about to take my life, God bless you too. And he laid down, and they executed him. He didn't do it. He was innocent. Why isn't someone in jail? The guy that sent Anthony Hinton in prison, the prosecutor that prosecuted Anthony Hinton and fought him for decades to send him to death row, he's out now. I don't give a damn. I don't care if he's collected millions. When is the prosecutor that sent him to jail going to jail themselves? When are they going to be charged? When are their license going to be stripped? This is it's more of a threat than ISIS. It's more of a threat than ISIS. It's more of a threat than ISIS because if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, guess what? And you have a thirsty prosecutor that's willing to mislead the public. And what I mean by misleading the public, they're willing to tell the public, we got you, guy. And they're willing to do it so badly that they'll send anyone to jail just to get credit for locking someone up, while the real killer is still on the streets, while the real perpetrator is still on the streets. That is our problem. That is egregious. That is not the way this country was built upon. That is not who we are. But it's not enough voices speaking out against it. There are some, of course. Same with economics, that Steve always talks about. There are some that are screaming, taxes don't fund spending. But there's not enough. It's not enough. We're still outmatched. We're still outnumbered with those that with the defenders of the status quo. When it comes to the criminal justice system and how corrupt it is, there's still not enough opponents of the status quo. But there are a lot of people advocating the status quo. That's where the problem comes in at. The problem comes in is not that our voices, you and our voices, aren't loud enough. It's that we're outnumbered. We're being outgunned. And what we got to do is train, educate, make aware, and wake people up. That's our job. That's our job, is to spread awareness. Because once you learn the knowledge, and it sucks when you learn it, don't it? Don't it suck sometimes? Don't you wish sometimes you can go back to being a zombie sometimes? Like the Hillbots? Yeah, I know. But the reality is, once you learn the knowledge, you have a responsibility to spread the knowledge. You do. That's part of the responsibility. Because an injustice there anywhere is an injustice everywhere. We have to do what those before us fought for, and that's carry that torch. That's keep that ball moving. When they said we are the people to form a more perfect union, that means it's our duty as an Americans to make this nation a more perfect union, inch by inch, piece by piece. Even if it's just pushing the ball up the hill just a little bit, and then the next person come and push the ball up the hill just a little bit. That's what America looks like. Making ourselves a perfect union in the face of adversity, in the face of the defenders of the status quo, in face of those that don't give a damn about ordinary, common people. We have to make sure that we are louder than them. And yes, Ellen, boycott everything. Sometimes it's to the point that where, yeah, we need to hold our dollars at some point in time to get some attention. We got attention in this last election. At least I hope we did. When they put us establishment candidate in front of us that stood for everything that we were against, with a threat of a Donald Trump, we told them, you know what? You can threaten us all you want, but we're going to vote our values over our fears. And we're not afraid to do it again. So in 2020, or in the next election cycle, if you guys want to put someone out there that we don't believe in, that don't stand for what we believe in, that don't fight for the American people, that's not for a real progressive agenda, guess what we'll do again? We're willing to lose that election again too. We are willing to lose an election to get real change. We're willing to do it. And I don't care who gets out there with the lesser of the two evil BS, because we're over it. We're over it. We're over people trying to spoon feed us change. We're over people trying to spoon feed us incremental change. Because if we was for incremental change, the Civil Rights Act would be a pipe dream. Putting a man on the moon, we'll still be just watching it on television. It wouldn't be a real thing. Yes, that's what this is all about. Slavery? Oh my. With some of these people out here that's so scared to go up against the status quo, I sometimes wonder if they was around, would it still be law? I sometimes wonder. Thank God they wasn't around during that time. Thank God. So what we have to do is scream louder than them. We have to become more mobilized than them. We have to outnumber them. And when we start to outnumber them, but that's at that point our votes matter. At that point, the politicians realize they got to cater to us, because we're in charge now. And if you want to stay in office, you have to cater to progressive ideas, progressive agenda, to progressive policies. Right now, they're able to stay in office by supporting the top 1% and being part of the corporate elites and pandering to the big money donors. Right now, that's popular. That's cool. That's what keeps them in office. We have to change that. That's what real progressive is about. That's what all of us are about. And that's what we all want to do in our hearts, is fight for a progressive agenda, for a better America for ourselves and for our kids. That's what this is all about. Have a great day, guys. Peace, and I'm out.